Welcome to the Education, Career, and Beyond podcast. We've combined life experience with young adult drive and ambition. Are you just starting to college plan? Did you finish your education and wonder, now what? Join us in this lively discussion about the topics you need to know to create the next stage of your life's dreams, careers, finances, education, and more. Brought to you by Voice for Heroes 501c3. Hello and welcome back to another great episode of the Education, Career, and Beyond. Now, if you follow the show, which we hope you do, and you already haven't missed last week's, Laila Naji was our guest host last week as we had an incredible interview with Richard Rosser talking about ChatGPT. This week is not that. This week is now Laila as our featured guest because she is an incredible, outstanding young woman who is making such an impact in her community, in her high school, and her surroundings. And I think that this is going to be a really big inspiration for those young adults you following us. If this is the parents, have your young adults watch this and see how Laila has really combined service with excellence and still just being a good human. And so we're going to talk with Laila today about Rotary Interact, and we're going to speak about her life as an amazing income high school senior. Welcome back to the show, Laila. And Ed, as always, we love you so much, and we promise not to pick on you today. We're going to have a great show.
Pick away. I have all my questions ready for Laila. Laila, you ready for the spotlight? Just burning right into your flesh.
Yeah,
Sorry
totally.
about that.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with the fun fact. Laila, tell us where you live, a little bit about your upbringing, your family, and just, just that background for us so we know you a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. So thank you for having me. So a little bit about me is that I'm pretty involved in the Rotary International organization. They're huge in helping out communities and being at service to others. And also I'm pretty involved in the Associated Student Body as well. I've held a couple different positions within it, and something that I've been newly recognized as, and now I'm holding this position, is the District 5320 Interact Governor, which is a really cool job and everything.
We're going to have some good discussion about that. And for our listeners that are all over the world, where is District 5320? Where are you?
So we are located in SoCal. So in Southern California, we have over, because this is in charge of Rotary clubs that are sponsoring Interact clubs in every single high school. And basically they are assisting schools into offering so many volunteer opportunities, community service opportunities. And we're offering about 50 schools in this area. So a lot to go over, but it's an amazing job.
Give us a shout out to your high school.
Dana Hills High School. They're an amazing club. We're one of the most highly developed Interact clubs in the area right now. So it's amazing.
And you're just coming into your senior year.
Yes, I am. I'm going into my senior year. A lot of college stuff to go over. It's a whole process, but I mean, it's going to help me kind of figure out some more stuff about myself, what I want to do in the future. So making that commitment in the future is going to be amazing.
Well, I'm going to let Ed ask the first question because we have a lot of questions we want to ask you just about service and how you weave that into your already full academic schedule anyways. Ed, I'm going to let you take it.
Okay, so I've got 72 questions.
Yes.
All of them are 10-part questions, so you'll get 7 questions with 10 parts each. Laila, thanks for joining us. It was great having you on last week as a co-host. But Amy sent me over some information because I know you guys know each other personally, and I'm kind of impressed with the 7-page resume that you have at the ripe old ages like 17. But I really wanted to talk about kind of how you got things going. And usually I end with this question, but I think it's appropriate to start with this question. Laila, who's been influential in your life? Who would you say helped guide you to this place where you're achieving certain things? Like, do you have a mentor? Do you have somebody you go to? Who's the key pillars in your life that help guide you?
Yeah, great question. So it's mainly the 7-part question. I'm still waiting for it, but that's the first one. So it's mainly my parents. So ever since I was young, my mom, I guess I was a really quiet kid. I don't know what that was, but apparently my mom kind of just wanted to push me towards being more out there, kind of being more involved in the school. And she thought being a parent I had some potential into doing more in this community, you know. So some things that I've done is I've starting at a young age, I was part of the student council in elementary school, and since that point onward, I've kind of found more of a passion to kind of building more into that basis of leadership and these leadership roles. So with my mom by my side and kind of pushing me towards that, and also having my dad who has his own business company, which kind of inspires some career options. I've kind of again pushed more into the leadership opportunities, and I found more of a passion in kind of managing that and taking upon more larger roles and going to a bigger scope and things. So my parents have been a great asset to my life.
That's awesome. A follow-up
Leadership and
question.
student body in elementary. Sorry, I just had to segue that. I didn't remember that you could do that in elementary school. Way to go.
Easy. Thank you. Yeah, fourth grade I started. It's crazy.
I picked up on something in your answer that you said you know you were a little quiet, a little shy when you were younger. What impact has these outreaching programs had on you from a personality perspective? You know, when did you get comfortable being around adults? Can you talk a little bit about that progression and how important that's been for you?
Yeah, I mean, growing up as an Afghan American, my parents were originally born in Afghanistan. We always have family parties, family gatherings, and one of the things that's essential in that is that there's all kinds of age groups. There's all kinds of people, people that you've grown up with, people that you've probably never seen before. And I never had anyone my age. No one was my age. And so I'd either have to kind of mingle with the lower crowd, more of the kids that were a little too young for me, or the way older people, or just some of the millennials, you know. And something that I've kind of gained through that experience is that, yes, I was pretty young for my age and talking to all kinds of groups, but that kind of helped me get out of my comfort zone in these gatherings is that I'm speaking to all kinds of groups and hearing what they talk about and how can I kind of engage and be in that conversation as well. Like I'm hearing little kids talk about little video games, so I'm also playing with them. And then you hear like the more older adults kind of talking about political conversations, and I started kind of engaging in that and offering my insight. And I started feeling really comfortable in that. Yeah.
If you call Amy and me older one more time, I'm gonna
I'm,
just
oh
get
Just
my
saying.
out of this
I'm just
interview.
saying.
You
I
got a
did,
lot of nerve
I
calling us
did
old.
no such
I don't
thing.
know what they're talking
Were
about.
you guys at these gatherings? Maybe you guys were.
No, but just by connection, I got the impression very distinctly that we're old.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
I mean,
well,
I'm not,
well,
but
oh, there I am
Ed
standing
is.
alone again.
Ed
So, hey, Layla, I got a question for you, and I don't even know if you have an answer for this, but of all the accomplishments that you have, we'll talk about that too. There was one thing that jumped out at me, and it was your experience in graphic design. So, I'm just curious, where did that come from? How does that creativity work? You got all these other things going on. Where do you fit time in to be creative?
literally it stems back from when my parents kind of taught me about money management and
ooh.
kind of working out if I wanted to pay for something, I had to me myself. So I kind of grew that business mind and creating how can I make money? How can I do this? So I would literally go start networking and I would start talking to people and see if they could buy these bracelets for me. I made a lot of bracelets and they're actually pretty cute, guys. I was somewhat talented in bracelet making. And being a younger kid, I feel like a lot of people wanted to kind of help me out. So they would buy my bracelets and that kind of started up of how I'm kind of talking to people and start promoting my little business. And I got myself a little I think I got myself an iPad or something, and then I started
Wow.
kind of saving up money more and everything. But that kind of led to marketing and promoting, and that kind of inspired me to get more into social media and trying to promote stuff. And the thing that I did graphic designing was at school, so any promotions at the school we did through social media. We also did like posters and the basics, but a lot of stuff have been through social media, and creating those graphic designs have really made me really creative and kind of out of my shell in these things.
Well, that's pretty
Layla, you
cool.
just have such a powerful background with ASB and leadership within your own student body since fourth grade and now through high school. That doesn't always come naturally to everybody. A lot of kids are very reserved. They're like, no, I don't want to be involved. They didn't want to put themselves maybe through that peer pressure or too much work. I already have homework. How has
Yeah.
that been for you? And what do you advise, especially for those that are watching this, young adults, maybe on the fence of joining ASB and saying, I really do want to be a young leader? How has that been for you? And what would you advise someone if they were on the fence with that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I think a lot of people look at the associate student body and the student council, and they think it's a stereotype how maybe we're all outgoing and we all have these talents already. But a lot of people come into the student council. I mean, I went into it fourth grade with literally no experience in anything. It's elementary school, but you go into it with an open heart and you try to find your people within there. You can be a little bit reserved or something, but there's so many people there that can kind of help you and bring you out of your shell a little bit. And honestly, if you want to be more involved in the school, this is a perfect opportunity for kids to do so. Especially if you just want to be involved in maybe offering your creative ideas. I know so many people, even outside of the associate student body, that offer so many cool dance ideas or so many creative graphic designs, and they're willing to help out. So offering those creative ideas, and you don't need to have a specific requirement or talents in order to join it. You can be whoever you want to be, and you can kind of grow from that experience and become a leader.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you one too.
I'll give myself one a little bit.
Ed, you
Yeah.
have any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, leadership's kind of a crazy thing, and you've got so much diversification in the things that you've done.
Mhm.
This question also is a little off the beaten path, if you will. I would imagine you said you started at fourth grade, and you said you had no experience. I'm kind of curious, what is your position on being willing to make mistakes as you learn? What is that
Mm.
beneficial? It's scary. You don't like it. You embrace it. Talk to us about your experience with learning something from the ground up, and what would you tell a young person who might be sitting there going, I want to do it, but I want to do it right. I don't want to make any mistakes. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, there's no perfect way to do things. I'll give you an instance where you kind of have to make mistakes. You kind of have to be corrected sometimes. You need to hear some feedback. You need to be critiqued in order to become better, to improve. And I guess one of those instances, one of the positions that I've held in the associate student body was pep rallies commissioner. And we basically kind of set up pep rallies and activities at the school. And I went into the position not knowing anything. I had no guidelines how to set this up. Like, I kind of underestimated how busy this job was, especially connecting with others and texting people frequently and kind of getting people on the job. And I'm not gonna lie, the first event was horrible. It was just something that no one knew what was happening. It was a lot of people at Dana Hills complain about an outside pep rally. It's just not the same experience as in the gym where all the lights are going off, and where the whole like class can really get involved and cheer and all that. And the first one was horrible. It was a really bad experience, but I kind of stayed strong, even though people were probably critiquing me on the side and everything. What I did is, after that day, I got a little clipboard, and I went up to every single person in ASB and also all my friends and people that I've never known before. And I was like, what happened in that pep rally that was so bad? And what the point was to really have them critique me. I wanted to hear a harsh critique, and I wanted them to tell me what my mistakes were and how I can sit down and really figure out how can I correct them. Um, Learning from that experience, you got to always learn. I say I don't have any regrets. I went to a Rotary meeting one time, and they asked, like, what's your biggest regret? And I was like, I don't have any. I think everything is taken as an experience, and you can either learn from it or grow from it, or you can just kind of sit back and think, wow, what can I do with that, And so honestly, if you're starting from the ground up, you just got to keep on going. You got to try to be involved as much as possible, and just try to see what can you do and how can you assist them. And that's where your talents start to come to light and your skills start to come to light. And yeah, you're going to make mistakes on the way, but that's how you're going to start to grow and become a better leader.
Wow.
I really
She is
love that
set up for
answer.
success.
Yeah, I love that answer for a couple of reasons, Laila. One,
Yeah.
because let's be honest, you don't know what you don't know, right? And sometimes there's not someone there to guide you through it. That's a huge lesson for life. But I think in a much larger sense, when you're in a situation where it didn't go the way you had hoped, or you wanted to go and solicit people's feedback so that you can get information to help improve that's huge. I mean, and the other part of it, which I think is great, is you took ownership. I was like, yeah, it bombed. Let's see what we can do to fix it. So as a young adult, for anybody who's listening out there, those are critical, right? Ask for help when you can. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. And when you do get feedback on those choices, and own a mistake if you make it. No one's they'll respect you more if you own that. And I think you said it. That's the true definition of leadership. A leader is the person who's willing to do those things. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think something to kind of piggyback on that is that even if you oh, am I here?
There you go. Now you're back with us.
Yeah.
Good. Piggyback.
Yeah, so piggybacking on that, even if someone's not even telling you what's happening, or if they're not really critiquing you, I kind of pushed towards it, and I was like, I made an honest mistake, and I really want to see how can I learn from this. And you can ask teachers, you can ask. I mean, I asked my ASB teacher, and I was like, what did I do wrong? And I mean, what do you think that I should do to kind of correct that? And she kind of gave me some insight on that. A lot of seniors at the time were kind of telling me, well, this is how we did it a while ago, and this is something that you can kind of apply to it. So kind of reaching out to your peers as well, like you said, is amazing, trying to see how can you improve yourself as much as possible.
And that is a message to every leader of all ages in any organization, association, business, nonprofit, community outreach, anything, family, all of it. That message is tried and true through and through for successful life. Yeah. Excellent.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
You want me to keep going, Amy? Because I got questions.
No. Oh, go ahead. Your turn.
He's got a lineup.
Actually, you know what, Amy? I asked a ton. I want to make sure you get in there and mix it up with Laila too.
Well, we can see completely why Laila was chosen as the Interact governor. And for those watching and listening, Rotary International is the largest service organization in the world. With that, you have zones, areas, districts, and then within districts, you have the clubs. So when we talk about her being the governor of a district, we're talking about all of Southern California, Orange County area. There are 44 clubs, I believe.
I would say maybe 45 or pushing it to 60 this year.
Yes. So, I mean, she is literally going into her senior year of high school and the leader of all of these clubs of other amazing young adults who are plugging into Rotary International, infiltrating into their high school and saying, we want to make a difference, not just at a community level, but at a global level. And I know that this is really passionate for Laila. So Laila, why don't you speak about some of the initiatives of what you hope to do this year as governor, what you guys are already doing, and are there new things that you're about to bring into these organizations?
Yeah, excellent question. I'm so excited. I was literally just asked this the other day. I went to a social event for Irvine Rotary, and this guy came up to me and he's like, "What are 3 things that you want to do for this year?" And I was like, wow, this is like, it's very like secretive. Like he passed the notebook to me and I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to answer this. And no hesitation, I wrote down what to say. And he's like, wow, that was really fast. I was like, I mean, I've had these goals in mind ever since I kind of got this position months back, but it's to mainly I have a whole list of that I've gathered from the last district governor, interact governor, and there was a lot of schools that were not active or were not engaging, and a lot of people have kind of come up to me saying like, how can I even establish a club or even engage a club? And that's one of the goals this year, and me working with the district governor from Rotary. We're hoping to kind of work alongside each other to kind of reestablish these clubs, make sure that they are active and they are representing Rotary, and making sure that they're pretty frequent in offering volunteer opportunities. Because that's what kind of keeps our students engaged, is really helping out in the community and trying to reach out to Rotary members as well. But yeah, so we're kind of working to extend this amount of schools that are established, and we're hoping to kind of connect every single Rotary club in this area to an Interact club or to a high school.
Huge.
So that's one of the main things. And then another really exciting one is nothing too official yet, but because this area is a little dangerous right now, we're hoping to establish an international project this year. Last year we were not so fortunate in doing it, but this year I've been having experience in affairs and projects before, and this is something I'm really excited about, is to create a solar farm or solar powered devices in South Sudan. So yeah, so it's a possibility, but because of how dangerous it is, we're still trying to discover how we can do it. But doing our research and seeing the lack of electricity or power in that area, that is something that we want to do. So kind of the name for that is to bring light to those in the dark, pretty much.
Love it.
Look at that. I like that a lot.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, so that's just another idea, I guess. And I mean, there's just so many other goals, just small goals that we're trying to take little steps towards. But I mean, international project is a huge thing. I probably, if this international project goes forward, it would still continue throughout my college too. So
Yes.
this might be a multi-year kind of project, but it's something that I want to stay throughout the entire thing and hopefully even visit at the final product, you know?
That'd be awesome. That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
it's so exciting.
Rotary is just such an amazing organization because you have the resources, the tools, the support network for you to really bring this to life. And I think that's what is so incredible about Interact being able to plug in with this organization, that you guys aren't just standing alone creating something. You're creating something within such a great organization. What are some of the community level projects that you guys have been working on, and what's also coming up?
Yeah, so I mean, to start small, I guess, we've always done like beach cleanups and everything. And something within the district that we've been offering is district training. So kind of becoming more familiar in Rotary and kind of connecting to those Rotarians. A lot of interactors come to this area, to these trainings, and kind of get more familiar with the Rotary area focuses, where you can help in community development, or maybe in the medical development, or even technology. There's so many things that you can do in these trainings, but we always have like a speaker and motivational speaker to really speak about their experiences, either in Rotary or just their journey throughout their lives. So those are people that we would obviously maybe even bring here to the podcast, or
Please do.
things. Yeah. So bringing speakers there and just kind of inspiring interactors to become more involved is something that's so magical. And I mean, when I'm talking to all these Rotarians, they're like, we always start with these interact clubs, but we never find these interactors becoming Rotarians. So with more of these trainings and more of these conferences, I'm hoping to kind of push these interactors into becoming more involved and staying within Rotary. And that's one thing that we want to do,
Yes,
kind
we
of
do.
conferences. And yeah, so we even had Amy at one of the district conferences, and she sang there and did a presentation, and she really shared her vision about marketing and everything and some insight. And I actually, Amy, may I say the story about
Yes,
that?
of course. It wasn't me. I wasn't there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But one of the district conferences, she gave a presentation about marketing and some things that you can do to kind of promote an event or kind of help towards that. And one thing that I did was I saw on like a little bullet point was contact your local news or anything of that sort. So literally the next day I'm walking around, where was I? Like Irvine Spectrum or something. I was just finishing up some homework, and I just started like searching up some places, and I found some numbers, and I started making calls after calls. And I was just like, we're going to need you guys to come here. We're going to need a whole story on us. It was about a film festival that the Dana Point city was kind of holding, and it was a huge success because they were willing to support us and willing to kind of promote us. And the next district conference that we had, I went to Amy and I was like, it worked.
It worked.
And I just wanted to tell her that you just got to listen to your peers. You got to really take in that insight and try to utilize that, because you guys have so much experience, have so much advice to give us, and us taking it back, we can totally use that and even do it from a young age, I guess, from 17 for me. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Laila. This is why Ed and I started this show in our second season here. This is the 21st episode right here, because we're so passionate about inspiring and providing resource and support to all of our young adults out there to say, you can do it. Here's the resources to do it. We don't have all the answers, but we will find people that have answers to amazing categories and amazing subjects. And this library is doing just that. And also getting your opinion and your insight and listening to what you need, and our other co-hosts that are young adults that come in. And what is it you need? Because we don't know, because Ed and I did go to school a long time ago. Yes, we have established that fact. It was a while ago. So
we
we
used
don't know
chalk in school.
what it's like for you now, the resources that you need, the support that you need to succeed, and to meet young adults like you, and also all of the other amazing young adults that have been a part of the show, those that I've met in Interact in the various districts, especially 5320, which I just love. You guys are just outstanding. And we're learning from you. When did it happen? I think Ed and I are learning and growing more and more because of all of you.
Sure.
And that's what's so magical about this.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think just from this organization, I've already learned so much. I've probably learned so much more about being a leader and trying to grow from there than my 8 years in associate student body. Don't tell my teacher, but yeah. But that's probably one of the things that I pride on from this organization.
That's amazing. I know this interview is flying by. I know we don't have a ton of time left, but Laila, I would like to have you kind of speak on the refugee situation and the Afghans that you're assisting with. I don't know how you squeeze all this into your schedule, not to mention the athletic stuff that you do, but I'm curious, what are you doing in that regard? And for those who don't really know what's happening, could you shed some light on that situation for them?
Yeah, of course. So, like I said before, my parents were originally born in Afghanistan, and them experiencing everything there. I mean, so many crazy things that have happened there. They know what has happened, and coming here, they want to support everyone. I don't think we have any family there anymore, but we definitely do have friends and people, and just our entire community that's there. And that's someone that we're willing to support, especially through these tough times. So it was actually last year I established a club at my school And it was International Refugee Resources Club. It was a long title, but the thing about it was that we were partnering up with an organization that my family is really close ties with. We have a lot of my aunts and uncles are heads of those organizations, and something that they helped with is we saw refugees coming here, and we started providing resources such as like uh, hotels and houses and apartments, and also just the basic necessities. You need a bed, you need food, appliances, and so we were providing those. And something that I wanted our club to kind of help out with was kind of organizing the warehouse. They always we got a huge Sears warehouse that someone was so kindly gave to us at such a nice price. And they basically supported us through this organization and kind of
Wow.
gave us a huge area where we could put all of our resources and put it there and kind of organize it. So when family buy, we would kind of do a walk around this warehouse and be like, okay, so here's your bed. So we kind of put that and packed it up in a truck for them. Then we got some basics like the sheets, and then we kind of we told them, we're like, which one would you, we always had them pick out what would they like. We even had a huge area where the clothes and shoes and all kinds of sizes were donated, and they were all brand new, which was so sweet of everyone for donating. So this club kind of revolved around that idea, but with a lot of the stuff already donated and given out to families, we actually kind of sold out, if we would say. And a lot of them were assisted, but we're still continuing to do that. So I let the club kind of fall through a little bit, but on my own time, I'm still kind of helping them out and volunteering as much as possible. So one of the other things, I guess, that we do for the refugees is we also help out orphans in Afghanistan. So at a very young age,
Wow.
my dad found this organization, some friends of ours, and they were kind of telling us, they're like, there's so many kids that are orphans here. And I mean, what can we do to support them? So honestly, I think we give about $270 per month, honestly. And entire family, we got our family's huge. So saying what I'm saying, our entire family, it's pretty big. And the impact that we're all making together to donate this money every single month to them. And what this essentially does is about $30 can provide one kid with all kinds of resources like housing and toiletries and their education and anything there. So we established a school over there. I guess you would say that we adopted these kids. So
Yeah.
I've adopted about like 7, 8 kids. And what's really nice is hearing updates from them. They frequently mail letters to us and tell us how they are, and there's like pictures of them too. So seeing how beautiful they are and how much they're growing at such a young age and stemming from there is amazing. So just seeing how much of an impact we can make with $30 for one kid is amazing there. And I'm continuing to hope to do something bigger than that with this international project as well.
Yes. Well,
Well,
we look forward to supporting you in that. Any links that you have, anything you want us to put in these show notes, please make sure I have it. Look for those links in these notes, because if you want to support what they are doing there, support some of these orphans, we want to be a part of that.
Oh, thank you.
what an
Thank you.
amazing spirit.
Right?
That's a beautiful internal spirit that you have there. The only last question I have is about college. You
Yes.
mentioned that you've been preparing for college, which is curious to me because most young people haven't started who are going into their senior year. So maybe you could give us an update on where you're at in the process, or maybe even comment on why it's so important to start early in that process.
I mean, it's a pretty slow process, but if you don't really have like the connections to kind of help you start in that process, you're like sitting at your computer like, where do I even start?
Yeah.
And I'm lucky through this organization, I found so many people that have helped me with my college scholarships, and I'm even meeting with someone through Rotary that is helping me kind of start with my college process and everything. But
Excellent.
so something that I'm really interested in since like day one was architecture and business management. So and
Nice.
kind of starting with these leadership roles a lot, it was always management or some kind of type of management, I guess. But and kind of being really creative and getting out of my comfort to create all kinds of stuff. Literally, I played like video games a long time ago when I was making houses and creating neighborhoods and all of that stuff. And growing up with architects near me, it's very inspiring. So, hoping to either major or minor. Still thinking about it because I mean, it's the time to really get to know yourself and think, what do I want to do? But hopefully, either major or minor in architecture, business management, and it will go either one for those. But yeah, I really like those two fields, and I'm really lucky that I have a lot of people that are in those two fields that I can try to shadow so I can get more familiar with those areas. But right now we're just looking into scholarships, and already got a college list in the mix, so we're starting it. We're starting it.
Cool. That's good for you to
um,
share that so people know what they should be doing. I think the whole
yeah.
conversation we had is about just being active and doing things and
Mhm.
kind of getting out there and get a little uncomfortable. And you're doing I was going to say a bad word. You're doing a heck of a job, Layla. So keep up the good work. And I would say this: you're a friend of the show. You're a friend of Amy's. I've been in the college planning space for almost 20 years. So if you need any guidance, direction, want to bounce something off me, please keep my number and
He's
text and email
amazing.
handy. Just let me know. So thank you for everything you've done. And if there's anything I can do to assist you in that process, let me know.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I think just like going through life and having all these experiences where I'm kind of like leveling up in some positions and all that, you gain so many different connections and meet so many cool people. And seeing how I met Ed here is amazing. And
Amazing,
talking
isn't it?
awesome. Yeah.
I always say this, Layla, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It
Mhm.
is about
It really is.
relationships.
It's all
It
about
is
connections.
it is everything. That's how you're going to move around in life. It's usually an introduction. Somebody
Mhm.
knows somebody, or they can connect you, and you just have to be active. And I think that's the other lesson about what you're doing is just putting yourself out there, being active. The world moves on gravitation, and when that happens, things
Yes.
come to you. You don't have to work that hard. So, keep up, keep doing your thing. I hope you find some. I was just thinking about how interesting it would be if you went into architecture and you're building stuff for orphans in Afghanistan and you're
Yes.
creating some stuff. So, keep doing what you're doing. And I liked what you said about doing it through college. And if you're going to do it through college, I have a sneaky suspicion you're going to be doing it through your entire life. So,
Mhm.
thanks for being a great example. I'm inspired, like Amy said. So, you do a great job and you keep inspiring us old people. And
Why?
do
So
it. Amy,
Layla,
do you have any
I
do you have any other
yes,
questions
just
or thoughts before we bounce out of here or what?
Layla, I loved you the minute I met you, um, through the leadership conference, and every time I listen to you and get to know you more, I'm just more wowed. And you are truly just such an inspiration, not only to the other young adults that you are leading, but also to those of us old adults here who are wowed and inspired and reminded of those little things, those things we even take for granted. I mean, $30 a day is housing and providing for one of these children. That's 2 trips to Starbucks for a lot of people. So the fact that you're reminding us of these luxuries we take for granted here in life, you're reminding me to be smarter and better in my business, to be open. You've just been such an inspiration, and so proud to walk alongside you in this journey as governor this year, and also walk alongside you for everything that's ahead for your future. And we really love having you a part of this show. I'm sure you're going to be coming back as guest hosting again. We want you on regular rotation, and also anybody else that you want to bring to the table for us, because that's what this is about. Congratulations on everything you've done, and what an exciting year this is about to be.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful to kind of share my experience and share my insight for any young adults here and all adults here as well.
Come on, we got some great young adults, young people around here.
Wow.
People.
My heart is full. My heart is full. I got
Yeah.
verklempt.
Nice.
Speaking of sharing, Ed, you take us home?
Yeah, we're out of here. So
So,
listen, on behalf of the governor, Laila
right?
Naji, this is the education career beyond. She's hitting all those notes and is inspiration not only to other young people and parents. If you're listening out there, this is the kind of things that you can have your young people doing, making an impact on the world and giving all of us a little bit more hope. We all need a little bit of that, a little positivity. So listen, if you're
Yeah.
listening and you're like, man, this is a really good episode, please give us a thumbs up, a like. If you really feel inspired, you think somebody should hear about it, share it with somebody. And of course, these are the type of guests we have. Sometimes they're young, sometimes they're old, sometimes they're old with young spirits, sometimes they're young with old spirits. Everybody's here. So subscribe so you can get the entire picture of what we do. So on behalf of my friend and my co-host, Amy, this is Ed Sanderson. That's Education, Career, and Beyond. We'll see you next time.